I'd like to call on the Chair of the Technical Committee, Dr. Christoph Weder.
Thanks, Gib. I got asked to do this job last year and I didn't know what the heck I was getting into, and it was a lot of fun actually. I'd like to thank Mauricio especially, who's helped me out significantly, and obviously you know, I stand up here doing a committee report, but a lot of work's gone in behind there with Mauricio. Being involved with the technical chair, it's been good to see the behind the scenes issues that we deal with as an industry, and you know, there's a lot of challenges ahead of us. This report is going to kind of give a synopsis, you know, and a brief based on, you know, where we are with a lot of these markets. The Federation is working a lot of different fronts, and it's, you know, a lot of times difficult to handle all that, but I mean, it's doing a pretty good job what it can. We've made a lot of progress in the past year, and we need better access in our priority markets. China, obviously, right now is still some things to handle out there. We've got boneless UTM beef and tallow. Canada still needs to negotiate the technical conditions, so it's down to the details and getting that all nailed out. South Korea, as everybody knows, is still on the ban. We hear that there's political movement on that, so we'll wait and see, I guess. Japan, obviously the biggest challenge, still 20 months and under, and you know, what Jeff presented yesterday, I mean, that's a huge challenge to our industry if we can't supply year-round in that market. Taiwan, boneless beef from UTM only, so we don't have a full access like the United States. Mexico, beef and offal from UTM and all liver. Again, one of the biggest opportunities there would be for over 30 months of age, and from what Mauricio says, we're a good year away from that one as well. Then, my pet one project is the European Union. We've made a big stride in the last year with actually getting recognized as to having the same standards to qualify for the 20,000 tons. But then another political move gets made, and they couple that with access to our separate TRQ. So again, some of the things that are out of our hands, and we're hoping that the Europeans and our offices in Ottawa get some of this stuff done, because there's quite a few of us going next month to Paris, and it would be great to actually stand there and be able to get access on the zero tariff issues. 2002, Canada shipped to 66 markets. 2010, we're currently in 71 markets, are all open, including those that have no formal protocol or commercial risk markets. Canada needs better trade conditions in the following markets. Obviously, South Korea, we just need to get in there to get with. China, we got to get the little details figured out. Obviously, some huge potential. Japan, we got to get this 21 month and under and make it 30 month and under to get really realistic. Europe, we got to get the ability to access, you know, and it's down into the politics now there. Russia is just kind of getting rolling, and we've obviously got a lot more plants that have gotten certified in the past year, and a few more that need to be done. And if we look at Mexico, I think the biggest opportunity there is over 30 months of age, but that's down to politics again. Canada is behind the United States, obviously South Korea. US is in there. Taiwan, US beef, access for bone-in beef and offal for UTM. So we have full comprehensive market access for these: Bahrain, Barbados, Bermuda, Cuba, European Union, St. Pierre, Switzerland, Macau, New Zealand, Philippines, United States, Jordan, Panama, Mongolia, Colombia, Hong Kong. And I think I didn't see it on there, but there was a recent announcement that we will have full comprehensive to Costa Rica. Is that correct, Ted? So that will be full comprehensive on there. I don't think that's on that. Market priorities, obviously, it's been highlighted yesterday and a lot of us speaking here today. Japan, we said we need access for UTM as the first step. Mexico, OTM access. Russia, we need OTM access as well. Taiwan, we need bone-in and offal access. South Korea, we just need access. And mainland China, again, I think that one is down to semantics and getting some of the details written out on that. And again, that's sometimes where things get bogged down. We tend to make a mountain out of a molehill. Priority markets number 2, Indonesia, bone-in access. Singapore, bone-in access. UAE, Saudi Arabia. Egypt, Peru, Chile, South Africa, Jamaica, the Bahamas, and Turkey. I'll just add to that that the Federation did host from Oman, and I am given assurances from Oman that we actually went for full comprehensive on that as well, and we're supposed to be getting feedback from them, but somehow we've got lost in translation somewhere right now. Priority 3, Ecuador, Venezuela, Costa Rica, Guatemala, El Salvador, Border access, Honduras, Nicaragua, Trinidad, Turks and Caicos, and Antigua. And then commercial risk markets, again, there's quite a few. We're not going to list them all off because I'll probably pronounce them wrong. So priority 1 for meat and bone, MBM's SRM removed is Bangladesh, Thailand, and Vietnam. And SRM removed again USA. And again, priority 3 would be Taiwan and China. Tallow, priority 1 is China. Priority 2, Taiwan, Indonesia is priority 3, or yeah, priority 2 level as well. And yellow grease, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, and Costa Rica. So I believe those ones should be coming along pretty good. Yellow grease, priority 2, European Union. All markets where Canada negotiating free trade agreements need to be considered as a priority. So I know there's lots of discussion at the CETA level with the European Union, Central America, Dominican Republic, Caribbean communities, South Korea, once the ban on Canadian beef is lifted again. Japan, Canada needs to negotiate access for UTM. Obviously, we've discussed that. The Food Safety Commission of Japan must work on this file ASAP, and we should work to have Japan treat our request separate from the United States as well. South Korea, Canada needs to negotiate the final protocol of access for beef and veal. The report of BSC for the 17th case must be delivered to negotiate commercially viable access. And I do understand that that last trace out is what's giving a lot of the significant problems. They still haven't found all the cattle. Is that correct? Or something like that is what we've been told?
Yeah, they just gave an internal copy of the report and over 90%.
Yeah, so still 10% out there. China, Canada needs to negotiate specific technical conditions of access for beef and tallow. We must obtain export certificates before we lose momentum on this. And you know, it's down to details as to guaranteeing that there's no American cattle in the mix that would go there from Canada, and also guaranteeing that there's no cattle coming from the 17 infected farms, or sorry, 17 farms where these cattle came from. So trying to write details like that and you know, also hold some power is a little difficult sometimes. Mexico kind of needs, again, to complete the over 30 months of age, market access, expansion process. Talking with Mauricio, there's some political will happening there slowly, but that said, we're a good year away from what he's giving us on that, so at least we know where we stand with that. Taiwan, Canada needs to deliver the BS report for the 17th case without delay, immediately press for expanded access for UTM 30-month bone-in and offal. Russia, we need several beef processing facilities obviously approved, and that is a hindrance right now. So I know the plant that I work with specifically isn't on that list yet either, so obviously because come from our side, and CFIA needs to forward their request to SVPBS to approve these establishments based on CFIA certifying the establishments. So that is a thing that needs to be happening. Canada also needs to confirm the final market access expansion for 30-month bone-in and offal. European Union, as I said, there was some guidelines that were given for accessing the 20,000 tons. We have basically met those, but then the Europeans coupled our access to our separate TRQ negotiations. We're trying to decouple those things, but I think from what I've heard till now, haven't had much success. It's actually at the level of Minister Ritz engaging the Europeans on trying to decouple this. There is a separate TRQ that has been submitted based on a memorandum of understanding that Canada will remove the tariffs and duties on European products. The hormone compensation quota should not be linked in other file, and you know, somehow the Australians got in. We didn't on this one yet, so we're working on it. CETA negotiations ensure that Canadian beef has full tariff-free access to Europe. I think that is a long-term vision. It's going to take a lot more work yet than that. If that is not possible, Canada needs to have approximately 1% of European beef consumption allocated as a bilateral free trade agreement, free trade, tariff-free quota. In summary, Canada needs to further develop a culture to focus on efficiencies to gain market access and export more beef and veal. Canada must improve teamwork, communication among stakeholders, government and industry. And I can, that was one of the things I've noticed the most as a technical chair committee this past year is a lot of people going a lot of different directions and almost using elitist tactics sometimes with their attitude on approaching some of these markets. And I think, the beef industry needs to be there side by side with some of the bureaucrats at this negotiation level. And that's, I think, you really need to work hard as an association and a federation to get this work done and improved. Is that it? Well, that's it. I respectfully submit this, and if there's, we'll go from there.
Thank you, Christoph. I will now ask for a motion to accept those 4 reports that were just presented to you so they can be officially distributed. Pat McCarthy, Brian Reed, all in favor? Opposed? Adopted.